this is Chris. I'm the wellness boss, your holistic wellness and stress coach. Now, this is my very first video for the year 2021, and I couldn't be more excited, especially that we have left 2020 behind. I've never been so glad to enter a new year than I was entering 2021, and I know a lot of people share my sentiments. 2020, so many things happened to us. Life happened to us. COVID-19 happened. There was so much drama in the good, the bad, and the ugly in 2020, and I can't be more excited about 2021, especially as a stress coach, knowing that a lot of us have learned the art of resilience. I hope you have, right? I hope you have. And I want to correct a misconception here about resilience. Now, this is going to be my message, my first message really for the year 2021. The misconception that a lot of people have about resilience is, bouncing back, moving on. And it couldn't be further from the truth. Resilience is not about bouncing back. Resilience is not about moving on, It gives a wrong perception of what it means to overcome a challenge. It's not about bouncing back. Bouncing back, you're like saying that you want to go back to how things were. Continuum is like you want to continue something, like moving on. It's like, okay, let's just, as it was before, let's just continue that way. But it's not that. Now, the way you play around with words, the way words sit in your mind actually affects a lot how you live your life. So when we say resilience, we're talking about you moving forward. We're talking about you not denying everything that you have gone through. We're talking about you using the lessons, right? The things that have happened to you, in spite of the challenges that you have experienced, you understand? And you're pushing yourself to be better than you were before. That is basically what resilience is. The ability to come out of something better and stronger, not the way you were before. We talk about mindset a lot. Your mindset determines everything about you. Your mindset determines how you live your life, determines your life, basically. And when it comes to resilience, your mindset regarding resilience is very key. That's why I'm passionate about stress mastery. I tell people, when people say, hey, Chris is a stress management coach. No, I'm not a stress management coach. I'm not in the business of helping you manage stress, because I don't think stress should be managed. This might not go down well with a lot of people, and I understand that, right? What people don't understand, they tend to question, and that is good. But for me, when I talk about stress mastery, I'm talking about the ability of using that thing that is meant to bring you down, right? Of you mastering that thing and using it to thrive, using it to your advantage. The beautiful thing about stress is actually there to help you. So you are not misusing stress per se. When we use the word stress mastery, you are actually applying to stress what stress ought to be in your life. The misconception that we all have had regarding stress, about stress being bad, stress being negative, we have to reduce the stress in our lives, we have to avoid stress at all costs. Do you understand? That whole perception has given rise to a lot of unfavorable consequences, based on the relationship that we have with stress. In my stress classes, I tell people a lot that I love stress, and they go like, oh yeah. I said, no, really, you have to learn to build a positive relationship with stress. You have to learn to fall in love with stress, because stress is actually there to help you. But if you really do not know what stress is there to do for you in your life, you're basically going to misuse it and abuse it. And by misusing and abusing it, it's going to reflect in your life in a way that is negative. So you tend to see stress as negative. So what I try to let people understand is stress is there for you. Stress is your friend. And I open their eyes to the benefits of stress. And I want to believe that the year 2020 has taught a lot of people how they could have used the stress in their lives for their advantage. And it's so obvious, really. A lot of businesses started in 2020, regardless. A lot of ideas were conceived in 2020. People were able to push through, in 2020, and they are thriving, all right? And that is the whole idea behind resilience, behind stress mastery. Using that which was meant to be, in quotes, for your downfall, as a strength, as a strong advantage. So that is what it is. And in 2021, my prayer for you is that the resilience that you learned in 2020, that you're able to put it into practice in 2021. Now you'll be asking, oh, well, Chris, 2020, 2021, it can't be the same thing. But I'm here to tell you that because you don't think you're out of the woods yet, all right? Because this is a new year. Don't think you're out of the woods yet. There's a backlash, there's a fallback from 2020 that we have to contend with, that we have to deal with. Yes, in 2020 we all had like a common enemy, we had a common denominator to work against, which was the corona, and it bonded so many people. Do you understand? The beauty of humanity shone through in 2020 for the most part anyway. And in 2021, you're going to find that you're battling more of your own personal individual demons. You get what I mean? So we had the strength, the support system of the whole world in 2020. But in 2021, you have to learn to be your own support system per se, or be the support system that another person needs. Because at that point, the common goal, the common denominator might not necessarily be COVID. Do you get what I'm saying? Now you're going to have to deal with the issues of your financial health, your physical health, your mental health, right? And you're probably going to be alone doing that. That's why I'm saying that do not forget the resilience that you learned in 2020. The fact that 2020 showed us that we can push through, that we can come out of any situation we find ourselves, should also be your guiding focus in 2021. Number one, do not give yourself not useless, unrealistic goals. This is not the time for you to give yourself unrealistic goals. This is also not the time for you to just relax and let whatever should be, all right? Because when you think like that, nothing will definitely happen. It's good to have a plan for yourself. It's good to have a plan. It's good to have a goal. But again, as I said, do not give yourself unrealistic goals. Don't set yourself up for failure from the get-go. All right, that is not how you should approach this year. Now, this year, 2020 was about survival. 2021 is about using the survival of 2020 to thrive in 2021. Do you get what I mean? All right, so that is why, again, as I was saying, I'm very passionate about stress mastery, because there's going to be stress in your life. There's going to be more stress than you even bargained for, and I'm not wishing you bad. It's just life. That's what life is. Somebody was talking about, I want to live a stressless life, and I told her, I said, for you to live a stressless life, you have to be dead. Maybe you're in heaven or something, because that is the only way you're not going to experience stress in your life. So it's better to have that mindset that there's going to be stress. It prepares you to deal with whatever challenges that come up. All right. For you, those listening to me who really do not understand what level of stress that they're at, because there are different levels of stress, and then based on the level of stress you're at, it actually determines how you're going to approach it. All right, what techniques you're going to use to enable you master that stress so that you can thrive. I'm very particular about those in corporate organizations. All right, those who are responsible for team bonding, team building. I'm very passionate about those ones, because companies have gone through so much. A lot of people are working now at salaries that have been seriously cut short, because of the pandemic. And it takes a lot to be able to build confidence back into the team. So much has happened. There's been losses. Some offices have had to shut down. So you're like starting again from the beginning. So I'm here to actually help you. So we have a stress assessment test, all right, that you can take, individual and corporate, that can help you determine what level of stress you're at. Now, as I was saying before, it's not everybody that needs a stress coach. And I'm going to tell you those who need stress coaches in their lives. No, I'm not saying stress management coach, I'm saying stress coach. All right. So for those who need stress coaches in their lives, those who are constantly anxious, who suffer from panic attacks, from anxiety attacks, who are so nervous to the point that the stress in their lives have affected their productivity, have affected their health, have affected their relationships, have affected their spirituality, all right? Basically has affected how they live. Now, these are the people that need stress coaches. For a lot of people, I mean, for not a lot of people, there are some people who can do without stress coach because they've already built, they have that capacity in them, you understand, to surmount whatever challenges that come their way. And that's something else that I teach in my stress facilitation classes for those who don't know. All right, there are people who have been nurtured appropriately. Again, stress, we react to stress differently. Both of us can face the same situation but react to that situation differently based on our nurture, based on our nature. All right, so it's very important you know where you belong to help you move forward. So this 2021, we are not taking prisoners. All right, you're not going to be a statistic. All right, even if you have to be a statistic, you're going to be a positive statistic. You're going to be one of the statistics that we're going to look up to and say, hey, this person really learned a lesson from 2020 and this person is thriving in 2021. Will you be the one? So send me a DM. Let me know if we can work together. If you're passionate about your team, you're worried about your team productivity in your office has gone down. You personally as an individual, you feel that you're not performing at your par, all right, just hit me up, send me a DM, and I will get back to you immediately, or just drop a comment wherever it is that you're watching this video from, and I will get back to you. I'll reach out to you. So this is me wishing you a fantastic year, a year as amazing as you want to be, as you want it to be. Sorry, I say that because you are the one that has the power, you are the one that has the control over your life. No situation, nobody can determine what your year will be for you except you want your year to be that way. So I am Chris. I am a holistic wellness and stress coach. May wellness fall on you. Have an amazing day. Bye.